Hello everyone. Today I've got one little project I'm going to do. I may try to work on some other things. I don't know yet, but I'm just going to definitely get this done. Uh, of course, this is Dorothy's little bed, and I want to make a little quilt to go on here because she has a patchwork quilt that is really noticeable in the movie. So I'm going to do this like really cheap and easy because, like everything else I do, I myself am easy and cheap, and I just like to try to do things simple and use up what I've got. And of course, I've got a lot of scrap fabric. Now, I've seen people just here recently making little dollhouse quilts, and they have actually stitched it and done all this really intricate work, but mine is going to just permanently be glued to the foot of the bed, kind of like this. So I don't really care if it's like super detailed, but I just want it to look like it's really detailed. So I am going to put individual little pieces of fabric onto this piece of cloth. I may need to cut more. It don't look like I'm going to have enough, but I've cut out random little pieces into these little strips, and then I'm going to cut them into squares and just kind of glue them all over here, and then it's going to get all Mod Podged. If there's any little frayed edges, I can just snip those away. But I'm going to just put it all together before I try to be too fidgety with the edges, because I know it's going to get frayed as I work on it. So I'm just going to sit here and cut out some little squares real quick. All right, so I got that done, and these are really cute. And I was looking back at the picture, and there's actually some striped pieces on her quilt that look like this. Now, I didn't even think about that, but I got it because I was thinking that looks like the socks on the witch under the house. But then I got excited when I seen she actually does have striped fabric in her quilt. Um, and this little piece here, this is actually from the 1930s. So that's, some of this is actually vintage. And then this little piece with the stars, that's actually one of my daddy's shirts. Um, so I like to use little neat little things. It's got little meaning to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Mod Podge. And again, I am completely making this up as I go. I just hope this works because I don't know if it will. So I'm just going to kind of paint that on and then just stick one down, and that held pretty darn good actually. And I'm going to do that to each one, each little piece here, until I get it covered. And the Mod Podge is really helping to keep them edges from fraying. And I think once it's done, and I fold this and lay it on the bed, I believe I will probably Mod Podge it again. I don't know if it'll need it or not. I'll just sort of see where we're at, how it's doing once it dries. And something else I'm noticing already, make sure you're not letting it glue to your surface. I'm going to have to keep moving it to make sure it ain't sticking to that down there. But we're just going to randomly put these on here. And some may be a little bit more square, some's a little bit more um, rectangle, but it don't matter because that's kind of how patchwork quilts are. And then I've went in and got me some solid colors. Gotta have a few solids in there. Actually, I'm just going to paint over it as I go. I think that's going to work really well, but I kind of want to go quick because since I'm going to fold this, I feel like it's going to get stiff as it starts to dry, and it'll be kind of a harder to fold it the way I want it. I mean, it probably won't dry that hard. I mean, I'm sure it'll still be uh, bendable, but I'm still going to kind of go quick. And it's kind of, I mean, as you can see, it's really easy. And then right here, and if they run off the side, um, of course, I can just trim that off later. Once I get it done, I'm going to go around it and make sure I've got it cut kind of square. So anyways, I'm going to just go off camera here and finish this up. and then we'll see how well it folds. All right, so I've got one more row to do, and as you see, I'm getting it done, and it's pretty simple. I've got a nice flat square brush, just putting this on. I mean, it's way easier than I thought it was going to be. I figured it would be like sticking to the brush and just like doing all kinds of crazy stuff, but it's pretty easy. And I'm kind of overlapping these, if you notice. They don't have to be overlapped, but if you see where they're not really matching up, I kind of sort of want them to line up. So if they're not, you can just sort of um, overlap them a little bit. That's pretty darn cute. So let me get it done here. All right, so I got the last one on, and again, I'm kind of going over it as I get it on there, so it's really on there good. The edges look good. So now I'm going to just pick that up, and well, okay, forget that. I can't get the lid on, but we're going to pick this up. The top of it's just about dry already. That Mod Podge dries pretty darn quick. And that is so cute. Even from the backside, I can sort of see the color. So let's just trim that up. Alright, I don't like the top of that too good, so... Alright, that looks pretty cool. Now that looks so... I mean, it's cute, but it's awful colorful. It's giving me Holly Hobby vibes, but it'll be okay. I think it'll look okay. Let's just get it on the bed here and see what we think about it. Ugh, yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I like that. I really don't like that. That don't look like a 30s quilt. Ugh. You know what's freaking me out too is it's in black and white, so we don't see the colors. So maybe it was these crazy bright colors. I don't know. I'm kind of freaking out about it. If we were doing Holly Hobby in a 70s style bedroom, that looks awesome. But I don't like the fabrics. I really don't. I really like certain pieces, but I'm just not loving it. So I'm going to completely start over and choose different colors. And that's pretty cute though. I'm going to leave that over there to dry and actually use this later in something else. But it's cute, but the colors are freaking me out. I can't live with that. Okay, so I think I saved it. I went from this, and that's cute, but it looks more 70s. So I went from that to this, and they're both really cute, but this one looks way more, just the colors are a little more muted. They're not quite so bright like this one. This just gives more country farmhouse vibes. That one again is just too 70s. I mean, I've actually got fabric from the 1970s. It's a patchwork fabric that's like a printed fabric, and it looks identical to that. But this one's just way more. I got to get that out of the scene because that's just completely throwing me off. But this is just way more. Uh, this just looks so much better. Oh my gosh. I mean, I don't even have to explain it. You can see it yourself. It looks so much better. The colors just look so much more not so in your face. I mean, I'm just so thrilled with this. And I think I'm just going to lay it flat across the bed like that. I'm not going to try to fold it or anything. I think it looks good as it is. And I think, it's cute, it's simple, it's easy. It's not maybe as detailed as some little quilts, but I am going to actually glue it down just a little bit so it don't, stick out like it's wanting to do here. But I don't know. Let's see. Now it's still not completely dry. And yeah, I don't know. I was just kind of playing with it, see if I thought it would look cute folded. I kind of like it just across the whole bed. I'm going to put more of the stripy piece over here because that's the side you see the stripy part on, but that looks pretty good. I think I'm done with it. But anyway, that's what I wanted to do today. I'll, of course, get pictures of this sitting in the room. And, actually, I think I'm going to make one more thing because it's something I've got that it's halfway done and I kind of want to get it done. So let's go ahead and work on it. All right, so this is not what I was going to work on. I was going to work on this little tiny doll that you see here in this picture, which I have her laying here somewhere. I don't even know where she is. I laid it down, can't find it, so I just moved on to this. I've took this little cloth here and just cut a little piece and glued it and laid it across the top of her little picture like it's her little washcloth. So that's that, because if you noticed in that picture, it has that on it. And then also beside her wash stand, she's got a little rack on the wall with some little hand towels. So I've cut out some fabric and I'm making this little rack, and I'm just going to bend it and stick it in the wall. This is going to be her little washcloth. And I noticed one of them had some stripes across the bottom, so I used a piece of this fabric so that it would have that little detail. And then of course I got to trim this one up a bit, but I'm going to stick this in the wall after I get it measured out right next to the washstand. And then if I find that little baby doll, I'm going to redress her and give her a little makeover. Okay, so I found her, and she's hanging out over on the bed in all that fabric that I had drug out. And so really all I'm going to do is super simple. I'm going to go ahead and give her some black hair, because in the picture it looks like she's got darker hair. So I'm going to try to do it like a Patsy hairstyle, because I think that's the type of doll that she is something they called a Patsy. So I'm going to start by just coloring in her actual hairline where her hair is already painted. And then on the sides, I'm going to try to make it look like she's got like a little flip, because they have little flipped up hair. So I don't know how well I can do it, but I think that looks okay. That looks better. It looks closer to what it needs to. All right, and I don't want to paint it perfect, because if you look at these little old dolls, they're not like absolutely perfect. But we just want to give her a little flip in her hair, and that looks really cute. So now I'm just going to make her a really simple little dress, and it looks like she's got a little white collar. Okay, so for the dress, I'm just going to fold a piece of fabric over, and I'm just going to kind of rig this on her, kind of real simple, nothing fancy at all. I'm just going to put her little arms under here and just kind of glue it around her, and that's going to be her little dress. Just something super simple. And then I'm going to cut out a little white collar, and it's another fabric. I'm not sure, it's way over across the room, but it's like a really cool fabric. It doesn't really fray when you cut it, so that'll work perfect in such a tiny little detail like the collar will be. So let me pop her in her little outfit, and so right here's what she looks like, and boop, there's what it looks like now. And then I also had to paint her little shoes because I'd almost forgot that, but that looks pretty darn cute. So now let's get everything sat in place and we'll check it all out. Alrighty, so let's stick in the little washstand. Alright, so there's that. And then I guess last week I put that mirror in there. The little towel rack looks really good. Now it's super hard to get a good angle, like in the original pictures you see in the movie, because this wall back here wouldn't be here. So it's really, you can't really look straight in at it like, in those pictures. But I'm going to try to do the best I can with taking pictures here. And then there's the little bed. You'll, of course, see all this better later. And then, oh my gosh, where in the heck did I lay it? I don't know why. I keep laying her down and don't know where I put her. Okay, I got her. She is not easy to keep up with. All right, so in the picture, she actually is sitting back here, but I'm not going to stick her back in there. I'm just going to lay her on the bed. So there's the angle you're getting now, and then I'll change that for the pictures. Now I did also uh, hang some fabric over here on these little hooks to try to look like jackets or whatever. Um, and then I think that's pretty much it. Now I did hang this little picture up over here on the wall. There's a picture I noticed, so I printed off a little picture and stuck that there, made it a little frame out of like some little chipboard. And then the only thing I've got left to do in here is make a table for under the window, and this little oil lamp will sit on that table. And I think that's all, actually. I don't think there's anything else left to do. Well, there actually is one little decoration that hangs right here, but the scale of that wall is not very big the way I've got it built here. But originally in the movie, there is something that hangs right there. I may or may not try to make that. I probably will eventually. But I'm going to just look over the pictures and see what other kind of little details I can stick in here. But I guess for today, that's all I got for you. And I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. And thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.